Hi guys and welcome to Theatre Talk with Wayne. Today we'll be talking about The Comedy of Errors, written by William Shakespeare. It was produced in 2018 by Claremont Dramatic Society. What was so cool about this show is that you can tell by the cover it was set in the 1980s. We had two directors for this show and they thought of everything. They knew what they wanted for each of the actors. They knew how they wanted the actors to look like for each of their roles. Like for example, I played two roles, which was Duke Solinus and Pinch, the Witch Doctor. Now Duke Solinus was obviously dressed in a suit because he was the Duke of the land where this story is set. And with Pinch, I was dressed up like Adam Ant in the Prince Charming music video. And I've heard of Adam Ant. I have never listened to any of his music, so that was kind of interesting. My one friend she looked like that Melanie Griffith in Working Girl. So there was very much set looks for each of the characters. I did find it very funny that it was me and my friend who actually was my teacher in high school. Hilarious. We were the only males in the cast, and the rest were all female. And what was I going to say? So I kind of thought that when I did the auditions, that the directors would go in a sense of an all-female cast, because in the same year we have The Taming of the Shrew, which was the all-female cast at Maynardville Open Air Theatre, and then we had Othello, A Woman's Story, which toured around Cape Town, which was also an all-female cast. So I thought that that's the route they were going to go, but it kind of worked. Yeah, I kind of noticed that this is falling apart. I'm going to read you the history of the play. The Comedy of Errors is Shakespearean comedy at its best. Fast wordplay, mistaken identity, slapstick, and rude jokes. Two sets of identical twins, separated at birth, find themselves in the same city after one mismatched pair has spent years searching for their lost counterparts. The ensuing riotously funny confusion leads to beatings, seductions, tussles with the law, and declarations of madness. Yeah. The Comedy of Errors is a modernized adaptation of the Menachini by Plato, whose writing Shakespeare would have been taught while at grammar school. Despite being one of the Shakespeare's most popular plays of its time, the text was not published until it appeared in the first folio in 1623. I'm not going to read all of that because that's not really much exciting. Yeah. So I hope you got the gist of what the play was about. I have to admit, when I was rehearsing for this play, I had no cooking clue what was going on. I had no cooking clue. And it's kind of not it's not a strange thing for me to not know what is going on in a play that I'm actually in, because sometimes I'm just so concentrated on trying to get my lines and trying to get the characters that I actually don't know what the plot of the play is about. Let me tell you a story about Cyprian, but you have to wait for that video. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop saying that. So yeah, I'm going to tell you some stories from the show itself. I was in the opening scene of the show as Duke Solinus, and then you didn't see me at all until I think after interval when I played the Witch Doctor. The fun thing is that the Witch Doctor is in the second last scene and the Duke is in the last scene. So the minute I finish my scene with Duke, I run backstage, get undressed, take off the makeup, get dressed as Duke Solinus, and then walk outside to the front of the theatre and then come through the auditorium as the Duke. So on one of the shows that we did, I was sick. And I was really, really, I don't even know what it was. It was 2018. What did I have? Sorry, I'm just riddled with disease. Okay. Um, it definitely wasn't asthma. All I do know that I wasn't at work on that day. So, yeah. So I was sick. And in my scene as the witch doctor, I do a dance routine which is loosely based from the music video of Prince Charming by Adamant. And it was quite strenuous, and it was more strenuous when I was in costume because I had. Did I have a cloak? Yes, I had a cloak, and then I had a an army jacket, as well as a waistcoat and a tie and a shirt, and I had knee-high boots. Um, so yeah, so I'm doing this dance routine where it's like, ha, all arm movements, and and then you know, and I do lose my breath in the scene, and I actually kind of use it as part of my character. Um, but when I was sick, I was really, really nervous about this because I was scared that I was just going to faint on stage because I wasn't feeling too well. And so yeah, so I do the scene and I go backstage, and my cousin, who was also in the show, she obviously has to help me undress, especially with the boots, because it's very hard to get the boots off. And there I am getting dressed, and I am but crying. I don't know why I was crying. I mean, there was no reason for me to cry. I just kind of felt like I was so feeling so shitty. I just really just wanted to go home. And I am but perspiring as well. Wipe off all the makeup. I don't think I actually applied the makeup again. And then I am dressed and ready, and I have to walk outside, go outside, go to the front of the theatre, then come through the auditorium and walk up like with someone with nobility and what is the word? With form, basically, because I was the Duke Solinus. And then during rehearsals for this scene, um, a character mocks the witch doctor, which is played by me also. And she does the dance routine that I do, but she does it more dramatically and over the top. And I find that shit funny. I find it hilariously funny. And so there I am standing on stage, and I'm just staring into the audience while this person is doing my dance routine, and I'm biting my lips so I don't have to laugh. Because the directors at the time was like, no, Wayne, you cannot laugh in the scene. It's like, I can't help it. She is hilarious. But anyway, so it worked well. I really, really enjoyed doing this show. It was fun. It wasn't a lot of hard work. I know that might sound strange. Like, I kind of flourish in medium roles instead of large roles because it gives me time to, I don't know, have fun with it. When I have a huge role, I kind of get into my head and I kind of think, I need to know all these lines. Oh my gosh, I've got 65 pages of dialogue. Like in the video that I did about design for living. I mean, I went into my head and I literally almost lost my mind. I really thought that I was going to die at the end of the show, but I got through it. Um, I had made a conscious decision to take on smaller roles when it comes to community theatre. I would rather put my attention on to larger roles if I'm actually getting paid for it, because I'm not putting myself into the stress of having almost a annual meltdown for something that I'm not going to get paid for. If you enjoyed this video, there is more to come. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, you can check on my channel. And if you want to know more information about the dramatic societies in my videos, you can check in the description down below. But please subscribe. I will chat to you later.